can't locate them on that day, then we're not able to count them. And of course, that's next to impossible. So we know it's not going to be 100% accurate, but again, if you look from year to year to year, it should give you some indication of the trends. So we're doing a better job of counting and getting people in the system, but I also think we're seeing a higher level of homelessness. The costs of housing are pretty well documented in terms of rising dramatically in the last 3 years. That's putting a lot of people right on the edge. If you think about people experiencing homelessness, the reasons behind that are as diverse as the people themselves. That family who's working but can't quite afford the day-to-day necessities, one bump in the road can lead to homelessness. That's a very different situation than someone who's a mental health issue and is almost, without supportive services, is not physically or mentally able to maintain their housing.
Off the streets when you're on them, because without a phone, without a consistent address, without a lot of the paperwork and stability that you have with a home or some sort of housing situation, it becomes impossible to get back onto your feet.
Bringing those people to the table, not just the service providers, we have faith-based community represented, we have local government represented, we have law enforcement represented. Anyone and everyone, and we have individual citizens who are just concerned. So people who care about the situation, again, trying to work more effectively together. The betterment of our coordinated entry system is a direct result of that effort of getting people working together more effectively, having them talking, having them understand how my service can complement your service without duplicating it. We have a great network of people who are providing case management. They know these individuals personally, they work with them very closely, but if you don't have that location, that facility, that house to move them to, we don't want it to be a list of nowhere to go. We want it to be a situation where we can help these individuals move into permanent housing, permanent supportive housing, if they have a diagnosed disability or substance abuse disorder. So I think that challenge is probably the biggest. Certainly the availability of mental health counselors, substance abuse counselors is an ongoing challenge, and also connecting those individuals who resist the assistance is a challenge. Well, now our by name list is almost 50% higher than our point in time count. So we're doing a much better job, which gives us the data and the proof of how well we're working together with coordinated entry. So hopefully that will spell success in applying for funds. Our stated goal for our local Continuum of Care is to make homelessness rare, brief, and non-recurring. It'd be great to say we're going to eliminate homelessness, but I think that's probably out of the realm of possibilities. There are always going to be situations, but if we can begin to make a dent in it and keep that number from expanding and hopefully reduce that number, then we're making progress. And so yes, there's hope. And I think every month when we get together and talk about the work, we celebrate the positives. We look at how many individuals were moved into permanent housing this month, and there's always a significant number.
I never had the opportunity to get back on my feet, because every time that I do get a job, I spend everything I make trying to catch up on everything that I owe from the last 2-3 years of being homeless.